Hello all, I'm King John, you're you, and you're awesome. I want to talk about something that may, probably, is again ruffle some feathers. Why you should not care about Israel, or Palestine, or whatever you choose to call it, the conflict that goes on in that very specific part of the world. Because so many people do care, and if you ask them, they really couldn't tell you why they care. They just do. Well, the basic answer why so many people care is because they hear it in the news a lot. If you heard about the genocide of the Rohingya people in Burma a lot more in the news, a lot more people would care about it. But people don't hear about it in the news. Basically, there's an awful lot of evil going on in the world right now. An awful lot. And that tiny part of the world, the country is about the size of New Jersey, and you don't care what happens in New Jersey, do you? Of course you don't. No one cares what happens in New Jersey. Even when I lived there, I never cared what happened in New Jersey. And yet, for some reason, so many people care so much about what happens over there. Now, I care what happens over there because, well, I lived there, I have some family there, and so I have a direct personal reason to care. And yet, so many people who do have no actual reason to care so much. Now, if you ask them, they'd probably say something like they care because they're against the awful things that one side or the other is doing over there. You see my earlier thing about Rohingya Muslims. There's an awful lot of evil going on in the world, and an awful lot of people care so much about what's going on in Israel. It is ridiculous. It's insane. One example, okay? In 2004, there was a terrorist attack inside the pre-1967 borders of the state of Israel. It was carried out by some terrorists who infiltrated into Israel from the West Bank, and so the Israeli government set up a roadblock. And this roadblock was, if you believe the hype, an act of genocide, a crime against humanity. It was literally front page news for a month. It was roundly condemned by the international community, by politicians, by media figures. At roughly the same point in time, excuse me, the Laotian army, the army of communist Laos, attacked 3 villages of, I'm going to say this wrong, Hmong people, and killed all of them. Do you think that the act of actual genocide got nearly as much media coverage as the roadblock? The answer is no. It did not. Another example, in 2008, the then Pope went to Israel. I've talked about this before. I hate this. To show support for the poor, suffering Palestinian people. And like I said earlier, the Pope is free to travel wherever he wants. He's not traveling on my dime. I don't care. But roughly 1 month later, 3 villages of Christians in the region of the Middle East, were all wiped out. And the Pope had literally nothing to say about it. The entire papacy said not one word about it. I'll give you one more example. I could go on forever, but if I do that, well, we'd be here forever. The United Nations Human Rights Council condemns Israel almost every single time it meets. The Human Rights Council has condemned Israel more than every other country in the world combined. Do you actually believe that Israel is more evil than literally every other country in the world combined? If you do, well, I have no idea what to say to that. Now, when a whole bunch of people are doing something that makes no sense, like paying so much attention to one tiny part of the world and completely ignoring all the evil that goes on everywhere else, well, the question you need to ask is, who profits from this? And the answer is, every single dictator on Earth. Because every single bit of time, attention, energy, money that people spend on the conflict in that one tiny part of the world, that's one piece of time, energy, money, whatever, that is not being spent on combating every other dictator on Earth. So stop caring about Israel, Palestine, whatever you want to call that part of the world. Or perhaps don't stop caring about it entirely, but be moderate, be rational, okay? Consider what is an appropriate amount of attention to give to this particular part of the world as opposed to every other part of the world, as opposed to every other evil thing being done on Earth. And do that. Please, because there's an awful lot of evil out there, and we should fight it. We should stamp it out. We should not stand for evil things being done in our world. And that's all. Thank you for watching, and please comment below with anything you have to say about this. I would like to know what you think, and have a good day.